All right, let's look at another example. This is a thick pair share. And this one says to get the line of regression equation from the following table. But we're going to do some extra things with this. We're going to maybe use our calculator in some additional ways, some more powerful ways. So you'll learn some new ways to use your calculator to do some things, which I think will be interesting. So the first thing is let's go ahead and create our scatter plot sketch. Okay, so here's our x-axis and this is our y-axis. And the x-axis is going from, let's see, minimum of 1, maximum of 5. So I'll go up to 6 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Being 0. And we'll also go up to 6 on the y-axis. 6. All right, let's go ahead and plot our points. So we have the point 1, 2, the point 2, 5, the point 3, 3, the point 4, 5. All right, and the point 5, 5. Okay, so one of the things we need is we need x bar, y bar. Give me a second. There we go. We need x bar, y bar. So in order to get that, use a different color. All right, so in order to get that, we'll use our calculator. So I went ahead and in the Texas Instruments, I went ahead and put these values for the X and the Y values in the list editor. So we just need to go to two variable stats, list 1 and list 2, to calculate. Okay, so we have the point 3, 4. Okay, so that's going to be the point 3, 4. And I want to make sure that, I do this on the NumWorks calculator as well. So here we are with the NumWorks calculator. I'm in the regression app. I guess I'll go back. So here under all of the apps, you want to go to the regression app, which is this one. And click OK. Okay, so here's my list of X values. Here's my list of Y values. So to get the mean of the X's and the mean of the Y's, I need to go up to the Stats tab. And it's this top row. So the mean of the X's is 3, and the mean of the Y's is 4. So we have the point 3, 4. Now, what you'll notice here is, since I'm just now starting out, it doesn't say anything about, a line of regression. Okay, it gives the correlation coefficient, but it's not telling us what our regression model is. It's not telling us what the slope is or the y-intercept because we haven't put that information in yet. So I'm trying to scroll down. I can't go down any further, but I can scroll up, right? And that just puts me back up here. So I'm just going to go back to data just so we can see the data here. All right, so let's go back to our think pair share. All right, and there's the point x bar, y bar. So let me go ahead and label that right there. Okay, now directly from here, we can calculate our line of regression. Now, to kind of symbolize that we're dealing with a line of regression, I put this little hat over the y. That means this is an equation which represents the line of regression that we're going to be fitting to our scatter plot. Now, in algebra, this is called the slope-intercept method, and M is used in just about every algebra book to denote the slope, okay, which is why I've written it this way. And this is the way that the NumWorks calculator labels it. The Texas Instruments uses the letter A here, AX plus B. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and just put this as an M this time. Right. So this is our slope, and this is our y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. All right, so how do we find this line of regression equation for this scatter plot? So if we're going to do it with the Texas Instruments calculator, then what we would do is we'd click Stat, go to Calc, go to linreg AX plus B, hit Enter. Okay, our X values are in list 1, our Y values are in list 2. And if we wanted to send this line of regression equation to one of these Y equals, okay, that's where we could do it. Oops. Sorry about that, got a little thrown off. Okay, this is where I could do that, but I'm not going to. Just going to go ahead and hit calculate. Okay, so the slope is 0.6 and the y-intercept is 2.2. So I'm just going to write down that we have y hat is equal to 0.6x plus 2.2, like that. So this is the equation for the line of regression. Now let me show how to get that with the NumWorks calculator. So what we need to do is go to the Graph tab. Okay, and this is showing us the graph of our scatter plot, and we want to go to regression. So right now, this point is selected, so we need to move the up arrow key to get us into kind of these graph controls here along the top. Go over to regression and click OK. And we want to choose this linear model. So you see it has mx plus b, slope times x plus the y-intercept. So we'll choose that one. Okay, and it puts it in there for us. Here's the x bar, y bar point on the 0.34. All right, and I think if we push the up and down keys, okay, so I just hit the down arrow once, and now it's giving me the equation for the line of regression. So notice it has a y with that little hat above it. So this equation here is the equation that models this line right here. And so the slope is 0.6 and the y-intercept is 2.2. Now, if I go ahead and I keep moving up and I go to the Stats tab now and I click OK, remember it didn't say regression or slope or anything over here on the left-hand column. But now if I scroll down, because I've chosen a model, a linear regression model, or a regression model, I should say, then you can see here, now it's got this as an option. And it has the slope, which is 0.6, and the y-intercept, which is 2.2. Okay, so this value of m, which is our slope, goes in front of the x variable. And this variable b is 2.2, and that's our y-intercept. And it goes on the very end of this equation. All right. Soon we'll need this correlation coefficient, and it's listed right there above it. So this is two places where you can get this line of regression here. Okay. All right. Now, what I'm going to do that's a little different is, let's come back over here, is so at this point we could sketch the line of regression. But now I'm going to actually sketch my line of regression with a little more accuracy. All right. So how am I going to do that? Well, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to create an XY table here. Use a different color. So let me change that to this color. Oh, purple. Okay. So I'm going to have an XY table. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose some values of X, plug it into my line of regression, and see what value of Y I get out of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 0 in for X. So I'm going to have Y hat is equal to, actually, let me do this another way. Let me put here, if X equals 0, then I'm going to have Y hat is equal to 0.6 times 0 plus 2.2. Now, what's 0 times anything? 0. And so what's 0 plus 2.2? 2.2. So you can see that when I put, come on, my computer's running so slow. When I put 0 in for X, then I got Y hat equals 2.2. This is what I'm going to write in right there. Just like that. Okay. So what I want to do is now graph this. So where's the point 0, 2.2? Well, so that's going to be 0 on the X, 2.2 on the Y. Let me put maybe an open circle right about where I think 2.2 is going to be, somewhere right about there. All right. Now we can put some more values of X in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and even 5, kind of running out of room. Um, and so I could, do the algebra each time. I can plug one in, simplify it, and get a Y hat out of it. But this is where we're going to use the calculator to do this. All right. So let's go to the NumWorks calculator. Let's go back to our list editor. And I guess to maybe make things a little clearer, uh, here in list 3, we're going to have these values of X that we want to plug in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I want list 3 just to be equal to list 1, just so I can quickly grab all of those numbers without having to type them in. Okay, list 4 is going to be all of these Y hat values here. So what I need to do is I need to make list 4 equal to 0.6 times list 3 plus 2.2. So I need to make list 4 to be 0.6 times this list of X values plus 2.2. And look at that. It gives me all the values I need. So let's see, if I put 1 in for X, I'll get 2.8 out for Y. So I'll get 2.8. And let me go ahead and just copy as many of these here as I can. 3.4 and 4 4.6, 5.2. All right, so we're going to have the point 1, 2.8. So 1, 2.8. You're right about there. 2, 3.4. 2, 3.4. 3, 4. Well, guess what? That's our X bar, Y bar point right there. 4, 4.6. 4, 4.6. And 5, 5.2. 5, 5.2. There we go. So if we do the best we can to connect these new open circle dots, okay, that is actually where our line of regression goes. Now, the reason why I'm taking the time to show this to you is because this is how you do prediction. If you want to do prediction, you take your line of regression, you plug in a value of X in order to predict what value of Y will come out of it. Okay, so that's why this little object lesson is important. Let's do this here on the NumWorks calculator. We're going to be kind of following a very similar process. So I'm going to come over here to X2, and I'm going to use these values of X. So I want to have X2 selected, click OK. I want to fill it with a formula. We'll just make it empty. And I want these values of X2 to be the same values in X1. So to print out X1 down here, I need to hit Shift, Alpha, X, and then a 1. There we go. Now let me come over. Now Y2, I want to make sure that Y2 is selected. Click OK. Go to Fill with Formula. Make it empty. Okay, and so what I want now is 0.6 times X2. So these are my X values I want to plug in. So Shift, Alpha, X2, then plus the y-intercept, which is 2.2, and hit execute. And you can see it's giving me all the same values, 2.8, 3.4, 4, 4.6, 5.2. And on the NumWorks, it's going to show me a graph. It's easier to show it here. I'm going to go to the Graph tab, click OK. And so you can see these blue dots are right here on our line of regression. Let me see if I can I turn the line of regression off? Here. I can put remove regression. There we go. There we go. Okay. So you can see that these plotted points, are directly on the line of regression. So if we wanted to predict, what's the value of Y if X was 2.5? Well, we don't have a value in our scatter plot on 2.5. So we could use our line of regression to kind of predict what value of Y we would get if we put in a value of X of 2.5. Okay. So this think, pair, share is to demonstrate two things. One, how you can get a better sketch of the line of regression, making your own X, Y hat table and plugging in values of X to get ordered pairs on the line of regression so you can graph it. But then how to use your calculator to construct this X, Y hat table for you on both calculators. Okay, I think that sums up this video. Let me know if you have any questions.